oh gosh, where to start? Being as how I had nothing in mind about which to write this time, I was wondering what would come up. I'm finally gaining trust that I have nothing to worry about. The right thing always has been delivered to me, usually more for my own benefit than anyone else's, I think. This one has to do with the fact I just read Terry Ektina's weekly blog. She's a reader and teacher of Akashic Records, that place where all our thoughts, actions, dreams, plans, and lifetimes are recorded. Her article expounded on how and why we choose our life's family members, important relationships, and lessons to be experienced. In our pre-birth planning, we have a team of angels and guides to help us and later to watch over us, guide us, and sometimes try to protect us from ourselves. Because once we hit the ground, we also have free will, and we're more than capable of veering off course from time to time. Her blog came out the day before I led the second of 2 promised Tai Chi classes to the 45-minute away group. Later that evening, I led the local intro Tai Chi class I'd signed up to teach for 8 weeks. Granted, I had a really good time connecting with friends old and new, but I was tired after that. It struck me, not for the first time, that thank goodness one of the goals I thought I'd really wanted never materialized. Before I left Colorado 5 years ago, my continuing Tai Chi teacher in the big official Denver Center suggested I become a beginning instructor because there was no Tai Chi chapter closer than 90 minutes away from my new home. I've always loved to teach and really liked the Tai Chi, and my sister Ginny, who got me into it 10 years earlier, was a beginning instructor in Alaska. So I thought that would be a great idea. It would also give me a chance to attract like-minded friends in my new town while providing a valuable service. So my teacher sent a letter of recommendation ahead to the regional office in Chicago. After I moved to Iowa, I took beginning classes at a senior center by a well-seasoned and dedicated beginning instructor, Mary. I accompanied Mary to my first weekend intensive workshop in Chicago. Mary was also encouraging me to become an instructor in my own town, and she had put in a good word for me to the powers that be before we arrived. At the workshop, she introduced me to the head honchos, and they said they'd check out my technique, which they said was good. But I had not shown nor proven the proper dedication by regularly attending regional, national, and international trainings and programs. Please note that all instructors are strictly volunteer and are not compensated for classes or for attending the required remote workshops. I had my first inkling that this organization was more concerned with strengthening their hierarchy than making Tai Chi accessible to more people. For the next couple of years, I switched to an official continuing class in Peoria, Illinois, and I even attended a workshop at the international headquarters just outside of Toronto with my sister. When I started practicing with the unofficial group 45 minutes away, my Peoria teacher highly disapproved and discouraged me from continuing that practice. But when that same teacher stopped a visiting husband from rubbing his wife's shoulders because massage wasn't part of the Tai Chi protocol, I knew this organization was no longer for me. I'm so glad that I never accomplished my goal of becoming an instructor with the international organization. My 13 or so years taking classes was wonderful, but my soul was never destined to become a leader within this machine. There was a mismatch there that I'm pretty sure my celestial team protected me from. In fact, I've all but lost my enthusiasm for Tai Chi these days, so I'm doubly glad I didn't have to extricate myself from a complicated system where many people depended on me. I'm reminded once again that it's along the journey and not at a goal that we shine that divine.